wonderful good morning from Nuremberg. It's Thursday at the SPS here, and when we woke up this morning, we shook ourselves and we figured out there were some further product highlights falling out of our sleeves. Brand new motors, the most stylish panels in the entire PC world maybe, but that's of course up to you. Our cameras and our new ED terminals are all part of today's show. If you have any questions during the show, please don't hesitate to write us an email, meet@beckhoff.com, or type your question into the chat. Before we start with your questions and our products, I have some questions to somebody who is usually never shy of an answer. Good morning, Roland.
Hey, Felix, you are full of energy this morning, right?
Yeah, that's I try to be. It was a longer evening yesterday. You were part of the press conference on Tuesday.
Yes.
So maybe you are one to ask for our business numbers of 2025.
Yeah, I think it's a good tradition that during the trade show in November, Hans and Johannes Beckhoff in this case also put some light into the business development. But honestly, before they shared the numbers, they actually touched ground with technology.
Okay, so they basically did a live and interactive for the press.
More or less. They started with the history of EtherCAT. Some people know this, that EtherCAT was founded 2003 by Beckhoff, and since that day, it's our automation standard and it's also a global automation standard, and they somehow recalled this a little bit and also the timeline with the EtherCAT development. And they also touched base with the artificial intelligence possibilities we have. So it was a little live and interactive in the beginning. Never than that, of course, we also talked about numbers.
Okay.
And you remember the last years were very fluctuating. We had a tremendous growth. We also had a slower year, 2024. But good news, in 2025, we are growing again. We are back on our normal growth path. And we expect around 7% growth. And this will bring us to 1.25 billion euros in sales globally. And the interesting is that the global market is growing a little bit, but Asia is performing a little bit better. Okay. So we see more growth in Asia, which is a good situation because this is an important sales split for our company.
Talking about growth, you mentioned the ETG founded in 2003, so 22 years ago, and it's still growing crazy, right? So more than 500 companies, I think, joined this year.
Yeah, 586 new companies joined the ETG. This is the user organization of ETG, where actually everybody can join on a technical perspective to share EtherCAT. And this actually shows, I think, the quality of our development, that this is still an ongoing business there.
It's still growing faster than ever. Okay, talking about the business numbers, what does this mean for you personally?
Well, I think for me, really for me personally, it's a good situation. Beckhoff is a private-owned, financial, stable company, and we are back on the growth track, so we can continue to develop products. I can continue to work with my team to develop new products. I can keep going to customers, and customers can trust us that we are still there. So it gives me a comfortable situation, to be honest, that I can be there also in the future.
A sense of stability and for ongoing development. What will the next year bring for us as a company?
Yeah. Well, the world is a little unstable, as we all know. Nevertheless, we're optimistic. We're really optimistic that we will have future growth also next year. We invest already for the growth. We just built up a brand new warehouse, 70,000 square meter warehousing for products to be shipped in the world. We invest in the countries. We open offices with more people to be closer to the customers. Yep. So we are a clear vision to continue growing our business.
Nice, very good. Now I will let you catch a little bit of breath, so I can enjoy some of your favorite products.
You got the best.
See you in a bit.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, every machine needs a friendly face, and we strongly believe that the display devices are that friendly face. And I would like to catch up with Fabio about mounting the display devices. I saw a lot of round pipes below our new CP4 and CP5 devices. What's about that?
Yeah, well, this was the mounting solution we have shown for the new panels so far. So when we showed them for the first time in Hanover this year, we showed them only for the 48mm mounting tube. And from my point of view, this is the most elegant way actually to mount those panels, right?
A pillar is a wonderful geometrical structure.
Yeah, but nevertheless, there are several customers who have their own mounting adapters, competitors' mounting adapters whatsoever. And this is why, based on the same components, we also did another mounting adaptation for 100 by 100 mounting options, right? So this is what you can see here.
Okay.
And also in this example, we can see the way we think the new products, right? We want to be more functional, more easy in installation, for example. And I have one example right here.
Not a round thread here.
Yeah, not a round threaded connector anymore, right?
So closer so we can have a look here.
We know that from the past when you had to connect several cables and they themselves were IP65 connected, this could be really a mess, right? And now we have IP20 connectors, simple USB connectors like this one, for example. You just plug them in the right direction. You have the gasket right here. Place a cover over it, and that's it. You have your total IP65 proof connection and in a much less time installed.
Wow, that looks very nice. I think that's a very handy development which a lot of customers will enjoy, but also customers enjoy a lot of performance. Felix talked yesterday a lot about new CPUs, Intel Amston Lake, was one of the keywords. How are we integrating this one?
Yeah, but yesterday you all saw this PC right here, beautiful PC. And if you have a look on the heatsink right here, you might see that this is some kind of familiar, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, this is because we are so convinced of this CPU we are using right here, this new Intel Atom Amston Lake processors.
8 cores.
8 cores, up to 8 cores, right? And they are so beautifully behaving, especially with their boosting features, right? Clock frequencies up to 3 gigahertz that are also useful, especially for an HMI. And this is why we're putting exactly those CPUs also in our new CP57 and 47.
Okay, but we also have some other CPUs, for example, the ARM CPUs. Does this mean we only use them for web panels now?
Yeah, well, this is something you always combine, right? You hear ARM and you think web panel. But we think this is too limited, actually. So, of course, you can use it as a simple HMI, perfectly suited for TwinCAT 3 HMI applications, but it can do so much more, as it is, like all Beckhoff PCs, the base for TwinCAT and all its features. So it could be your central control as well. And it comes with a lot of performance, actually. We got hybrid architectures there as well, so up to 6 cores with each 2 gigahertz, so not comparable to a single core ARM we had in the past.
Okay, so a very scalable performance portfolio performance-wise. So many CPUs, so many great display devices capable of almost everything, right?
You get a huge matrix out of different features, different display sizes for the mounting arm adaptation or for the control cabinet installation, CPUs, passive connection whatsoever.
I think that's a wonderful message for the exhibition. We have our wonderful new panels here, can be enjoyed today here until 6 p.m. And of course with our colleagues in the office closest to you at your place. I would like to figure out now something which we have not seen here with the panel so far. So we can turn a panel 350 degrees because otherwise we would basically break the connection mechanically. Now we would like to see something which can turn 360 degrees, and this brings us to Roland and Simon with our new servomotors. Thank you, Fabio.
You're welcome.
Oh, well, I love it if men talk about the beauty of products. And yes, I can believe that the panels are really beautiful. But if I take a look into our motor portfolio, I can say the same adjectives. Motors are a backbone for our business. Since the year 2010, we have our own motor manufacturing called Fertig Motors, 100% Beckhoff subsidiary. And our top-notch product today is the AM8000, a huge family, extraordinary performing motors, already with specific configurations. You can have water cooling, you can have an extra robust design, you can have hygienic design. So this is a complete range of products. AM8000. But now, Simon, you brought something brand new to the trade show. It's always this little new thing here which we have, and now it's called AM1000. What's the secret about the new motor family, Simon?
You're right, our new series AM1000, there we had actually a completely new development objective. And as the name economy servo motor suggests, on the one hand, of course, we developed it to meet the current technical requirements of the market, but also to meet the trend in terms of price.
I think this is an important approach, by the way, because there are normally a lot of motors on a machine. So if we can optimize the motor, I mean, this is a huge multiplicator for the total bill of material. So I think economy servo motors is an excellent choice, right?
You are right.
So what is inside the motor? Sorry that I interrupted you.
So we developed also the motor to be a perfect combination with the AX1000, so that we have a perfect combination for general machine engineering. And also important for us is that we have an excellent quality, performance and reliability. And we optimized the motor to be perfect for any application in terms of price and also the reliability and of course the performance. That was very important for us.
Yeah. What I noticed is this new motor looks extremely compact. So you were also able to shrink the size, correct?
That is right. So we could reduce the overall length of the motor by up to 45% and averagely over the complete series by 40%. So we have a very compact motor, and this is ideal for confined installation spaces, of course.
Okay, and this is always a point. But then I think if the motor is so compact, the cable is maybe even bigger than the motor. So can we still use the one cable technology, the Beckhoff OCT?
Of course we can use it. So with, as with all our components from the motion department, of course we integrated here the one cable technology as well. It's realized over 2 wires inside this cable, so that we have a very thin and compact cable.
I think it's even smaller than the existing one for the AM8000, right?
You are right.
So how was this possible?
In combination with the AX1000, we can now use partially shielded cables, and this also gives us the benefit that the cables are smaller, thinner, and much more flexible, and therefore they are much easier to lay in the machine.
Wow. I also noticed that it's still OCT, the Beckhoff technology, but the connector itself is also new. So you've chosen a more compact, smaller connector as well?
That is right, yeah. So we have a very robust metal connector, and the height of the connector is also reduced, so for confined installation spaces, this is really ideal.
Okay. Now, for a perfect sales pitch, we always need a system at Beckhoff. You already mentioned AX1000, which we explored yesterday. Now we have AM1000. So is this really the perfect combination now?
You are right. Yeah. So the AM1000 is specifically developed to fit perfectly to the AX1000. In the system, we have a lot of benefits. For example, with the electronic nameplate that is integrated inside the motor, we have the option to have a very easy commissioning with the system. Also, the system is perfectly integrated in TwinCAT, so all the software features that you know that you're used to, like the Drive Manager or Motion Designer, of course, are integrated, and it's really easy to use. And of course, as we optimize these products for each other, we have a very compact, cost-effective solution. And what's also special about the system is that it comes in standardized power ranges. Okay, so we have a power range from 50 watts up to 1000 watts at a voltage of 230 volts. But also it can be used with higher voltages, so that it can be used worldwide, even in the smallest sizes, with up to 480 volts.
So there's the promise, as always. It's usable basically everywhere. It's fully integrated in the TwinCAT, in the motion system. So I think we just need to get it now. The AX1000 is ready beginning of next year, and you told me the motors will be ready in the second quarter of 2026.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, well, perfect. Thank you, Simon, for the insights. And I think good news for you that we can start also optimizing your application on the motion side. Let's talk about optimization. And let's take a look into the cameras, because this is something which we explored a lot of time. And Christian, maybe stop taking pictures from the XTS system here. Good morning.
Good morning.
We talked about vision on the software side a few times. We also talked about vision on the hardware side a few times. I think this show is for you extremely positive, because we are ready. So what is the latest, greatest news?
Yeah, so the greatest news is that there is some great progress when it comes to certifications, for example. So we are now Geek Vision compliant, and this means you can use all of our cameras together with any Geek Vision compliant application which is there on the market. Yeah.
Do you know that we have Geek Vision also inside our Atro robot?
Maybe, yeah.
Yes, so we can run in our Gigabit Vision even through the Atro directly to the camera.
Yes, I think that's possible because Geek Vision is an Ethernet-based protocol, yeah?
Perfect. Okay, so sorry for that. Yeah. Okay, so we got Gigabit certified inside. What else is new?
Yeah, of course, you already said that. It's a great show for us because last year we introduced our cameras up to 5 megapixel. And this year we introduced our cameras up to 24 megapixels to the market. Oh. And these are really 24 million pixels. Yeah? So very many pixels for our customers to inspect things or something like this. Another great news is these cameras are using Sony sensors of the 4th generation, and this means these sensors have a slightly smaller camera pixel pitch. Yeah?
I got it.
But as I already said, we have enough of them on stock. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I could drop it, you mean? No, I don't.
But nevertheless, please don't. Yeah. So the thing is, when the image sensor becomes smaller, you can also use VOS 2000 lenses with low-price lenses together with an 8-megapixel camera, and we think this is really a great match when it comes to in terms to price and functionality.
Perfect. You just mentioned already we have parts on stock, so we are ready to deliver and can be used. What happened on the software side? TwinCAT Vision is an available product, so everything is integrated and functional.
Of course, also the colleagues from TwinCAT Vision are doing a lot of work in the last time. So we have some nice functions when it comes to code reading. So there's no function where you can do dot code reading. So these are really the codes which have dotted in them. There's a new function where you can take an image, and there may be a lot of 1D and 2D codes in this image, and this function gives you a segmentation of all these codes, also separates all these codes, and these codes can be then separately read and understood. Yeah? So this is really new. And there's one other nice thing, there's a template matching function which can now work with arbitrary rotated templates. It sounds a little bit weird, but it's really a challenging task, yeah? And now we can do that.
Wow. Now, we always mention that it's part of a system.
Yes.
Now, if I take my XCS here, where the movers move really fast, if I would take a camera, or in this case a unit, and try to make pictures on the fly, is our system so performant that we can really do this?
Yeah, of course. The thing is, we are perfectly synchronized due to the integrated EtherCAT field bus, and as long as you have a very short flash duration, for example, we can go down to 50 microseconds, you still get a sharp image to work with. Yeah? So it's possible.
So, excellent. Thanks for the update, and basically for our customers, it's ready to go. So make a use of our Vision products, hardware and software. And the backbone for both is, of course, TwinCAT. And I think it's time to take a look into TwinCAT and the latest developments.
Yes, and for this look, I sneaked into the highlight forum of our booth. You know everything is about AI these days, so is our highlight forum here on the Beckhoff booth. And I asked Lea to join me, and I would like to know, what does the CoAgent, or how does the integration of the TwinCAT CoAgent into PLC++ actually look like?
Yeah, so with TwinCAT PLC++, our new PLC component that we presented last year here, the TwinCAT CoAgent can perfectly be used together. So it supports the whole software development process in TwinCAT in general, but also in PLC++. And with the new possibilities that we have through this new development of TwinCAT PLC++, it's integrated even deeper than into the other functions. And this, you can see that especially with our integrated code window. So in addition to the to the CoAgent chat window that we offer in general, we also have an inline chat window. Meaning that if you create some code in your project, you can just open this chat window in the editor, and then you can use the CoAgent to, for example, expand your code, to optimize existing code, to add some comments for documentation purposes, and all that is possible with the CoAgent, and makes the whole programming much more efficient and easier, of course.
Okay. So generative AI makes traditional PLC programming much easier, so it's not something which is only exclusive for, let's say, vision tasks, for edge detection or things like this. So it's available inside standard PLC programming. I think that's a very important message. With TwinCAT PLC++, we try to rethink the whole code development for automation engineers a little bit. What else did we change on the engineering side?
Yeah, we developed whole new editors, and these editors include very cool new features. I can present you some of them. One feature I like a lot are the code snippets. So with the code snippets, you can insert some predefined code into your project and then adapt it to your needs. So if you have some standard functionalities, you can just use a snippet or also create your own snippets to use them in your project. Or another very nice functionality is our online-offline compare. This can be used to compare the code that is currently running on the controller with the code that you created in your engineering. So you can see differences, changes, maybe if you've added some code, you can see that before you do the online change, and that is very helpful, especially at the machine. So all in all, we want to make the whole programming more comfortable for our engineers and also, again, more efficient.
But it also seems like we are trying to borrow a lot of tools and ideas from the classical software development, right?
Yes, that is true, but we can say that Beckhoff always had the IT world in mind.
You can really see it with our IPCs,
Yes, I think so too. And we always combined it also with the automation world. That is what we did with TwinCAT from the beginning. Also one of the reasons why we integrated TwinCAT into Visual Studio. And then we have things like using source control code systems with TwinCAT. So that has all been possible for a long time. And now with PLC++, we even offer some more and new possibilities. One topic that's currently very interesting for many customers are automated test pipelines in the development. And especially for that, we offer a new PLC++ standalone compiler, meaning that you can compile your whole project via command line, and you don't have to load and open the whole engineering environment, and that makes things faster, and especially for automated tests, that's very practical. But of course, you can still use the usual TwinCAT environment because TwinCAT PLC++ is also integrated there. So we still have our free development software with now TwinCAT PLC++ available, and you can decide yourself if you want to use the standalone compile or not.
To comprehend, we keep the continuity which we have, so it stays familiar. We make the programming easier, more efficient, easier to recycle things, and also we try to improve the quality with, for example, the test pipelines.
Perfect recap.
Wonderful, thank you, finally I got it. Leah, have a wonderful day here in the Highlight Forum, and see you later.
You too.
I would like to have a look at something now which I did not really have the chance to have a look at so far, and that's our new I/O terminals, the ED series. It's brand new for this show, and I'm really daring to know what's so special. Antonia, can you maybe give me a very short recap of our new ED terminal series?
Sure. Yeah, hello Felix. So what Michael already told us yesterday is that we invented the new ED series. So ED stands for EtherCAT Direct Push-In.
Okay.
So the wiring will be much easier. You don't need any tool for the wiring.
Yeah.
And what's also really important is that we don't discontinue anything, so you can use EL and ED in one system.
Yeah, that's something which we, I think, almost never did, that we discontinued any I/O terminal. And now we have this new form factor, new functionalities. What else have we not mentioned so far?
Yeah, what's also new is a small data matrix code on every terminal. So some of you might know them from our MX system. We also integrated that on our MX modules. This one is for diagnostics. So you need an EtherCAT diagnostic dongle in your system, and the
Bluetooth connection basically, which you had to do.
Right, yeah. And the Beckhoff diagnostic app, and with the app you can connect to your EtherCAT network, and then you can see the live data from your terminals in the app, for example, temperature, current, voltage. And what's also quite cool is that we integrated a scope function, so you can put some values from your terminals in a small scope. And so for that, even non-technicians can do a really easy diagnostic without using a multimeter.
I can only imagine that it really helps also on the commissioning side. If you have a gauge, for example, like a load cell, and you press on the load cell with your left hand, and then you can have your phone in the right hand, scan the data matrix code, and then you know what's the result of your action. You see if it's calibrated or not.
Right.
So I think that's a very cool functionality. Super practical developments. I think most of our customers, or all of our customers, will get it immediately. But once they get it, of course, one question remains: when is it available and what does it cost?
Yeah, so about the product price, our ED terminals are cost optimized. Not even the product price, but even more because of the savings you can do during the wiring and the diagnostics. So you save a lot of time and therefore a lot of money. And about the availability, our product management was very busy before the fair, so first ED terminals are available on stock right now.
Oh, that's very, very good. So, new edition, nothing's discontinued, easy functionality, easy diagnosis, and also first things already available. Thank you, Antonia.
Thank you.
Now let's try to go a little bit to our red chairs over there. Maybe we meet Roland again, because now we would like to end the week and basically say goodbye to you, and hopefully we can say hello to you again when we are back with Live and Interactive and also with trade shows in Hannover next year, right?
Yeah, and I think these 3 days were amazing from my point of view. We started with artificial intelligence, so really up space. We talked about the CoAgent, our James Bond. We talked about physical AI and so on. And at the end, we just talk about a diagnostic app, and you scan your terminal, you save some money, you can see values, a scope. So it can be so easy from all up there down to the ground. And I think this actually what Beckhoff really promised all the time. Top-notch development, but really practical things.
Yeah, we try to work to keep our customers in the lead and to make them happy and also to have a coffee with them and to have a good time together.
So thanks for listening and watching us live this time or later on the downloads. We really appreciate your time and your effort spending with us. Stay healthy, have a good time, and we see us next year again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.